Hello everyone, it's Libby from libbystamps.com and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and today I'm bringing you this packaging solution, and I've done it up for a mail just so that you can see. You don't have to make everything look feminine, and I have in here, this is the copper ribbon which is just gorgeous, and I just have in here some herbs. My husband loves his barbecue, so I've got a square jar of herbs, and it would measure, I'll just tell you, it's about 3 and a bit inches high, which is about 8.5 centimetres, and it has base of say 5.5 centimetres, which is just over, it's about 2 1/4 inches. So that will fit in. I had a hexagonal type jar with honey in it, but it was just a bit too tall. So hexagonal jars would fit really well because that's the base. But when you do it up, you get the star effect. So you just pop the jar in and wrap the ribbon around. And we're using the envelope punch board today. So just wrap it around, pull it tight, and you're right, you've got your jar container. And I've used Lovely as a Tree and a sentiment from Birthday Blossoms. I decided not to go for Christmas today, but you could easily do this for Christmas as well. So what you need is some cardstock or some DSP, which measures 7 inches by 9.5 inches or 17.8 by 24.1. And I'll put all the measurements on my blog, and I'm just going to bring in my trimmer that also doubles as my scoring tool. I don't use my Simply Scored on camera because I just find it's easier to see the numbers and everything on my trimmer when I'm doing a video. So I'm going to score at 1.5 inches. So I've got the short side up the top, and I'm scoring at 1.5 inches or 3.8. And then I'm going to flip my card around. So I've got the long edge up the top, and I'm going to score at 1.5 inches or 3.8 centimetres. 3 inches or 7.6 centimetres, 6 inches or 15.2 centimetres, 7.5 inches or 19 centimetres, and the last one for the time being is 9 inches or 22.8 centimetres, so 22.9. Alright, so that's all we need the scoring tool for at the moment. Then I'm just going to bring in my bone folder, and I'm just going to burnish one of these score lines, and that's that one. And then I'm going to flip my card over. I just find this easier for me. You might have a different system. And the colours I'm using today are Old Olive for the trees, and I'm using the clump of trees from Lovely as a Tree. So just ink up. Alright, you're going to stamp down. And then you're going to lift up and across a little bit and stamp off. So you get that shadow effect. Alright, so again you're going to stamp down, lift up, and I'm going across the other way this time, and I'm going to stamp off. All right, last one, and we just need a little bit for this one, where we're going to stamp down and stamp off again. All right, you can go higher. Now, what I did was, with my other one, I came back in and I stamped off, and then I came and stamped sort of in between to make sort of like a forest effect. And you can stamp anywhere. I want a bit of a taller tree over here, and maybe another one in here. There we go. All right, that'll do for our forest. And then I'm using Rich Razzleberry, and I'm using A Day to Celebrate, A Day All About You. So it could be for anything. Anniversary, birthday, whatever you like. And I'm just checking I've got ink on all my stamp. And I'm going to stamp in this middle panel, so you'll be able to see, I hope. You've got a score line there and a score line there. So that's a big panel, and you're going to stamp in there. So I'm going to bring it down close to my tree line and stamp down. So that's all our stamping. Now we're going to bring our scoring tool back in, and we're going to score at, let's see, we're going to score at 1. So with the short end up the top, we're going to score at 1 inch. And when you fold this, the 1 inch score's going to be a valley fold. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. And the 2 inch score is going to be a mountain fold. And then I'm going to flip it around and score at 4.5. So that's, on the short side I scored at 1 inch and 2 inch, so that's 2.5 centimetres and 5 centimetres. And now on the long side I'm going to score at 4.5 inches, which is 11.3 centimetres. I probably scored on the wrong side, but anyway. We're going to use our envelope punch board in a minute. But before we do that, we're going to burnish all our score lines. So I'll be back in a minute when I've done that. I just wanted to explain to you about these two score lines that run across the top. So the first one at 1 inch, we want to make that a valley fold. So fold it towards you and burnish it well, because that's where you're going to put your ribbon, and that's the line we're going to use for our envelope punch board. And then on the 2 inch one, you're going to fold that away from you, and you're going to make that your mountain fold. All right, so valley, mountain. And we've got all our other ones done, and I'm just going to come in with my snips and snip away.
It'll take creation, imagination, try to draw outside the line. Let us see inside your mind.
We're going to use our envelope punch board. So we'll start at this end, bring the envelope punch board in, and we're going to line this edge up here with the 1 inch mark, or the 2.5 centimetre mark, and you're going to punch down. And then you'll fold and punch all the way along on the with the one inch at the edge of your card. That's all you need your envelope punch board for. Now I'm going to come in with some multi-purpose liquid glue. So I've just folded this over. We're just putting glue on this little edge here. That's where we're going to stick our other side together. And multi-purpose liquid glue is good because it stays glued shut. It's also easy to put on and you get some time for wriggle movement. Alright, so just fold that over like that. And we're going to let that dry for a second. I'm going to bring in my 2.5 inch circle punch. And another piece of Very Vanilla. And I'm just going to punch a circle out. Now if you make one of these in DSP, my advice would be to punch 2 circles out, one for the inside of the jar and one for the outside, one for the inside of your container and one for the outside. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the base together now. Now I like to start at the back and I put that flap down first, and then I go in a clockwise direction, I guess, and put each flap down as it goes. And it doesn't matter if your glue overlaps or you can still see your glue, because we're going to put that circle punch, and as you go you need to sort of shape it. All right, this is our last one. All right, I'm just going to leave that like that for a second. I'm just going to put some glue on the circle that I punched out. Now I go right round the edge of the circle and a bit in the middle, and then we're going to stick that on the bottom and then push this into shape a bit. It's a bit out of shape. So what you would do is, if you make it out of DSP, stick this one on the bottom, punch another one, and when the bottom's dry, flip it up and pop the other circle inside. You can either glue it in or just pop it in. I'd probably glue it in. All right, I seem to be short of jars here. Okay, so I'll show you how all this works. So pop your jar in. You need to do that before you do anything else. And I've got some old olive ribbon here, probably more than enough. I think I cut about 40 inches or a metre, so it's more than sufficient. All right, so between each score line, you're just going to use your thumbs and put a little crease. So go all the way around, and that will help it form the star when you put your ribbon on. And do the same on the back. Right, I think we've done them all. All right, so you want your back facing away from you, and you want your sentiment facing towards you. And you're going to wrap around. Now I'm going to leave about that much, and then I'm going to go round a couple of times or 3 times, depending on how much. The other one with the copper ribbon I just did twice. This one I've cut a lot, and you need to start to pull it tight and manhandle it into that shape. All right, see how it's starting to form a lovely star on top, and then I'll wrap it round once more. So 40 inches is more than enough. You could probably get away with 30 inches, which would be 3 to 6, 5, 15, 60, 75 centimetres. All right, and I'm just going to tie a bow. You could just do a knot if you wanted to. A bow is just easier to get undone. And then neaten that up. And there you've got your packaging solution. You can go around and put your finger in and make that pop out a bit more. So there's your package solution for a mail. A jar of something yummy, jar of lollies, jar of boiled sweets. There you are. Alright, so that's it for today. I just thought I'd bring this to you so you can see how to make a package quite easily for a male. They don't all have to be for females or for kids, and this one is quite an easy one to do, and it looks quite attractive. You could change that sentiment. It could be a Christmas sentiment. You could just colour in a couple of baubles with the Real Red marker, because the Real Red marker and the Old Olive Stampin' Write markers are paired at the moment in the holiday catalogue, so you can get the two of them. You could use Real Red here, then colour in some baubles, and there's a Christmas idea for you. Alright, so that's it for now. Thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.
Yes, I am. The inspired destiny require every dream to believe. Take the chance, lead the dance, and run with what it